Yeah, I guess I'm back for another video. What should I title this one? The bullshit that people tell. I follow one guy in particular. His name is Tariq Nasheed, but a pet peeve of mine about him is he talks shit about people, and he say things like it's just a joke, and he not taking shots, but that's a dude running game, man. You can't really say you're not talking, well, taking shots at somebody. You're talking shit about them. You're making cartoons about them. You are taking shots at them. And by you saying that's not what you're doing, that is what you're doing. Now, we all know Tommy Sotomayor, a.k.a. Crispy. Tariq said he called him Crispy because his skin is ashy, but we know that's a lie. Because he dark as hell and crispy, burnt crispy. So Tariq swear that's not what he's talking about. It don't matter if his daughter's dark skinned or whatnot. That colorism thing runs deep in California. So that's where I'm from, actually. Colorism is deep, man. Can't clean it up by trying to say that's not what you're saying. The nigga's burnt crispy. Tommy Sotomayor, he has a problem with it. He should have a problem with it. Somebody making a cartoon about you, a puppet about you, I should say. Now the latest thing is with this Bucci Bear thing. He talks, he got a walrus looking guy in there talking about that's not a shot at Dr. Umar. But he says the comical things that Umar says. Like, that is taking shots, man. Like, he's trying to dead a situation, a beef or some kind of conflict. Then you making cartoons about them, and then telling people you're not making fun of them. You are making fun of them, and you kind of coming at them dudes like they stupid or something by saying that's not what you're doing, man. That alone in itself is another insult. To tell people that you're not inciting no kind of conflict. You making cartoons about them, about something about them. The joke, the inside joke, the outside joke. People know what it is, and that's why they laughing, because they know what it is. You got a lot of people, man. Yeah, I respect the things that Tariq does pertaining to pro-black empowerment. But man, you start talking about people. Yeah, they talked about you, and that's the thing. Own that shit. Yeah, they talked about you. Say that's what you're doing. Yeah, you might as well just say this shit'll never be dead. I'm gonna keep talking about these dudes until oblivion. Don't try to be stupid about it or try to play people like they dumb. Your audience like we some suckers, man. Tommy Sotomayor, you call him burnt crispy. Come on, admit the shit, own up to it. That's why you have people out here, man, who will be talking about you, Tariq, man, because you're not being honest with who you are and what you said, man. You standing on a lie. You being deceptive about it, and that kind of make people look at you funny. Like, man, if he gonna lie about this stuff, what else he lying about? What else he break character for? Would he sell us out eventually? Or would he sell himself out eventually? I can go into a lot of deep things about you, Tariq, from observation. Somebody say, well, I'm attacking you. No, it's just observations. I analyze people, man. I look at people. I'm very empathetic. I always was an empathetic person. I knew when chicks liked me. I knew when chicks didn't. I knew when guys liked me. I knew when they didn't. Immediately. Not no caught off guard. None of that shit. The only time I was cut is when I went against the grain. I knew something about a person and then didn't act on it or try to give them a chance. But I already knew things about them just by meeting them within the first few seconds. Like, I shouldn't think like that about this person. Maybe they're not like this. People say I'm too judgmental. No, I'll be spot on because I have an empathetic kind of gift. I can read people right away, immediately, just by their little mannerisms, things they say, the way they move. I'm like, man, this motherfucker's an enemy. Oh, this motherfucker's cool. A lot of times it beat me in the ass for going against my greater judgment. But yeah, you got people out here, man. They think they can talk shit about people. Okay, you talking shit about them. Own up to that. Don't try to say that's not what you're doing. Jokes is jokes, man. But let's address that snapping thing. FBA culture, foundational Black American culture of ours calls snapping, capping. We called it capping in Detroit when I was growing up. That shit always been negative. Capping on each other. That shit ain't been cool. You talk about somebody, man, like it can give you somewhat of a harder exterior where you can withstand some stuff. But the thing about snapping is a negative cultural aspect of ours. It's negative. You can withstand it one day. One day you just might not be in the mood. Somebody just snapping on you. They might say the wrong thing. See, that's the thing with snapping. See, even when I used to do it, and I was pretty good at it in my youth, I always would look at the person. I didn't just grind them into the dust because that should have motherfucker swing on your ass or have animosity towards you. That'll build up. Like you got to know when to pull back. Sometimes I would let them win a few. I would take some hits just to lighten it up. You see somebody getting angry, you can say the wrong thing at the wrong time. It was all good that week. You snapping on them, they snapping on you. You say the wrong thing, man. Then y'all fighting. That's how it be. You might say the wrong thing to the wrong person who's not used to being snapped on like these foreigners, man. Like, in a sense, I can kind of see where they're coming from. Like, they coming to FBA culture, man. You got some dude just talking about how they dress, how they look. From their society, they're like, man, what's wrong with this dude, man? You talking about me, man? We come from struggle. Up to that brotherhood I heard about FBA. Why are you talking about me? Why are you talking about how I look? He not helping me. Now you got Tariq. He would say that, that kind of help you. That doesn't really help you because dudes who talk about you, they don't really give you no pointers about nothing. They just say how bad you was dressed. They don't tell you you need to put this on and that on after the snap session. They just clown your shoes, this, that. I done had the latest fashion in elementary and middle school. I was cool. I was straight in high school. I guess my mom, she kind of understood. Because we had friends, man. Them niggas would roast the hell out of you. And that nigga had a way with words. One of my friends back in the day. High school era, so she probably used to hear him talk. It's braggadocious, and you start stepping our shoe game up. And our clothes game kind of improved. Pelly Pell and all that shit. But like in middle school, elementary and middle school, I had to make do. But I still used to roast dudes, even though I didn't have the latest fashions and I wasn't up like what I needed to have as far as clothes and shoes. But I used to get back at them dudes, I was kind of a jokester for a little bit, but yeah, man, you get up in age, man, you start talking about people. Even other FBAs, just imagine somebody start talking about Tariq, some random dude. You might not feel like hearing it. You might be out with your lady. Some dude trying to hit you with a low blow. You with your children. Your children is watching you take all that in. That kind of take you down some notches. In the eyes of your family. You got this dude, Tommy saw that Dr. Umar, this, you can make him the butt of jokes, but this dude values being taken seriously. You made some dude the butt of jokes. Tommy Sotomayor, he got a daughter. I believe Umar got children. Like, you made this dude some joke. Of course, they're not gonna like it. They're gonna have some kind of thing to say about it. They're gonna have something to say. You trying to make them the butt of some kind of joke of clowns out here, and they got people who look up to them. So nobody never gonna accept that. You got people talk about dudes is quick to pull out a gun. I'm like that now. I'm just letting it be known. Like, when you get up in age, man, yeah, you can fight and you can get the better of somebody, but you already anticipate the comeback. Like, you might as well just play it down on the line now. Like, motherfuckers ain't trying to take no L's. People ain't trying to hear none of that crazy stuff. Because when you get up in age and you've been years without talking, snapping, hearing that stuff, people talk about you. If somebody finally do say something to you, like, man, what's wrong with this motherfucker? This nigga talking, you trying to make me some kind of joke out here, nigga? Ain't nobody no fucking joke, nigga. And you be ready to fuck somebody up in the worst way. So that's how it go, man. Some other people out here, they may not be so quick to go the violent route, but then there are some people, a lot of people out here who are. You just gotta read the room, man. You can say these people are some clowns and jokes, and they're non-threatening, but it's always that right one, that right wrong one. You don't want to be snapping on like that, trying to make some kind of joke out of. But we can go into this Bucci Bear thing. It's ironic that, Tariq, that you talk about the LGBTQ thing. In a sense, you kind of pushing that, unbeknownst to you. You kind of pushing that LGBTQ acceptance type of thing. You kind of making it cool, and you kind of entertaining the children with that homosexuality, that homosexual bear, Bucci Bear. You kind of making him funny. I mean, I don't even know if you realize that's what you're doing. You're kind of promoting the very thing you speak out against, that a lot of us speak out against, that I'm against. Promoting that to the youth, making it cool. So yeah, children looking at that Bucci Bear, they're not looking at it like some kind of agenda, but how many children like that character? How many children like the character Bucci Bear? So that's another thing too. See, this thing can go deep, man, with what people do. There's always a risk talking about people, though, 'cause you never know what their mindset might be. And my thing is, I don't underestimate people. I always look at that dude who get talked about, kind of like Above the Rim, Tupac's character. He was getting punked out. No, not Tupac, but Marlon Wayans. He was getting punked out. Tupac was making him look stupid, making him all fall in funny, jacked up positions and all that, pushing him down. Then at the end, he came back and smoked him, man. That's what happened, man. Like, dudes who will be said to be punks and bitches, you'll make them so damn angry and filled with hate that they'll get bold and come back and smoke your ass, man. That's why I always was cognizant of how far we'll go with talking about people. You know what I'm saying? Standing by a subway track, motherfucker, push your ass in there. I'm telling you, man, that hatred, that jealousy, that'll give people courage after a while. They just hate you, so it just be seething with hatred. Steam would be coming out their nostrils. Like, man, I'm gonna get this motherfucker. Poison you. Might find out where you frequent to eat. Man, people can get your ass, man. I'm just saying, man. People need to be careful what kind of enemies, man. There's a lot of people who've died strange deaths. Khaled and, you know, Kevin Samuels. Man, people will get you. They want to get you. They don't like you. You make enemies with people, man. They'll reach out and touch you, make your death or harm look like it was something natural, quote unquote natural. That's what I'll be aware of. Man. Somebody might be thinking like, man, ain't nobody gonna think like that. See, that's the difference between you and me. That's how I think. That's why I try to avoid a lot of trouble out on the streets, man. People think being street in the hood, that ain't how you survive on the streets, being street in the hood. You gotta be cunning. Cunning is how you survive, because outside the hood, you gotta deal with another hood called the world and other people's hoods. You gotta know how to adapt. And just because you're a street dude in one location, that don't mean you're a street dude in another. You'll be taken for a sucker. You go somewhere else you don't know the language, some other race, some other culture. And you be ready to kill, resort to your hood tactics in your hood. Well, that shit won't work in another hood. Niggas, you got people out here, they can afford to cross the state lines to get your ass. You got a lot of people that come from the hood. I'm from the hood. They leave the hood. They ops stay in the hood. But you got people out here, man, they will cross countries and states to get you. Why am I saying all this? I'm just saying this stuff to put things in perspective. Maybe it can help somebody. My nephew, he was talking about the hood. Detroit is the hood. I was trying to tell him before we fell out. The world is the hood, nephew. Like, yeah, you making blend in to a degree here. What happens you go to another hood? You dealing with slick mouth Caucasians, Hispanics, East Indians. You don't know the politics of other hoods. The world is the hood. You gotta know how to adapt and be diplomatic around different cultures. See, you can't be no dude who just stuck hanging around black people and only know how to deal with black people. You gotta speak with boldness around anyone. You got a lot of black people in the hood. When white people get around them, they get soft. Their whole damn demeanor switch up. They get soft and malleable. Then dudes run game on them and all that shit. So you got a lot of dudes from the hood in a rap game. They get around women of other races and they get suckered in. We can say that those dudes is not used to having certain kind of broads and all that. Nah, that ain't it entirely. It's just dudes just get around other races and cultures and their guard get dropped because really they don't know enough about other cultures. They don't know the politics. They don't understand that the nice white guy is really a gangster. Or the nice East Indian guy, that nigga really a gangster, or the Asian. They think the gangsters gotta wear a rough exterior because they come from around black people. They don't understand that the thugs and other cultures may not necessarily have a hard exterior on the outside, well spoken and all that stuff. Enunciate the words correctly, the English, real cordial. Man, that's stuff that you gotta be on the lookout for, man. Same thing with you ladies. I'm about to go into with you ladies. Y'all be looking for that rough thug dude. Yeah, you can get that guy, but the bold dude is the real thug, I ain't gonna say thug, but the real dangerous guy. You need to look up how serial killers operate. Them dudes is real bold. There was a serial killer from Detroit. You know, he was talking about how he would get people, you know. You know, he would wait till dudes pull up, then they would reach to grab their bag, and then he'd pop them in their head through the glass and all that shit. I'm just saying, like, and this dude didn't look like a thug whatsoever. No, he didn't have a hard exterior, but he was more bodied than any of these dudes who wear a hard exterior out here. You never know who the true killer is. It's easy to kill somebody when you amped up and angry or high or drunk off something. Can you have a calm demeanor and do it? I'm not promoting violence and death out here. I'm just trying to make some viewer, in particular some black viewers, you know, start thinking outside the box, man. You can't put nothing past a person. You can't be paranoid, but you gotta have a gift. And if you don't have the gift to discern people's character, you better put somebody around you who do. You know, you gotta put people around you who do. So that's another thing too. I think I'm gonna be up out on this video. All right, folks.